Welcome back to Maypole Farm. We are on the 2nd day of April. I'm playing on 2 months on here in case you are not aware. Our Zetor is off with one of the workers doing some fertilizing contracts. Just come over to look at the grass field and really pleased with the potential yield on here already. Obviously there's one more growth state to go for that, but we're gonna let that grow a bit further. Last time we planted the corn, which is up here, and first thing we're going to do today is have a look around the map and see which new land we can buy. Just jump over the fence. So yeah, corn does it need fertilizing more? I think the second half of the field is going to be okay. That's all okay. It's going to be good. Yeah, so not really. So let's just jump back down to the farm. The cows, we sold about £2,800 worth of milk this morning, and we paid out about 3,500 in worker wages. Actually, I'm on 3-day months on here, not 2-day months. Anyway, and then animals wise, the cows are sort of okay for food this morning, so I'm going to leave them for now. The older Holsteins are halfway to producing calves, which is really nice. They're a bit behind where they should be, really, but you know, that's part of adding maize plus to an existing save game. But they're okay for straw. Slurry levels are okay, and they've got enough food to last them for a few hours, so I'll feed them later on in the day. So let's have a look at the map and explain what I'm thinking. So we currently own this little corner of the map, or these 3 fields. Sorry, just punched the microphone. And my thought is that we could work towards expanding towards this yard over here. This has pigs, 2 sheep pastures, and a horse pasture. Now what we could do is replace the sheep pastures with cow pens eventually, or we could go big into sheep. That sounds wrong. Pretty certain we won't be doing pigs, so we might need to do something with the pig pasture over there. If you're wondering, while I've got the map open, why we own this bit of land, it's so that I could place the grain purchase point. We don't actually make any use of that, so if I jump over to here, we can have a quick look around this yard. It's quite a big yard, and it's not that expensive. It's only £30,000. Currently, this field is owned by Hilly Farms, who is a YouTube channel member. No, Hilly Farms is a patron, not a YouTube channel member. They both get that function. Actually, let's throw the drone up so we can have a quick look. So yeah, you've got 2 sheep pens here. We've got a fertilizer tank and buy point by the looks of it. Quite a lot of sheds. We've got a nice big silo, which would be really good. Horse stables, and then the pig yard over here. And maybe what we could do is turn this into a cow pasture. That would work, and we could keep the 2 sheep pens. And maybe we could sell off the horse enclosure and use that as just a grass field. But I think that's quite nice. The other yard that I really like the look of is over here. This way. So again, this is a nice little arable yard, I think. It's obviously a long way from the farm, but maybe we could set this up as kind of a satellite farm and do some of our farming up here. So you can see we cut through here to get from one job to the next. And this has got a decent sized silo and a lot of sheds. And then some land around it. So this one is only 19,000, and there are actually some really nice fields around here. So yeah, that's what I'm either thinking. In the long term, we expand up to here with a bigger arable farm, or we work our way across the map into this corner. And with that first idea in mind, I am thinking of buying fields 11 and 12. So they have oats and wheat in at the moment, which works because we can use that to make some grain mix, or we can sell it and make some money and we'll get straw off it, which is kind of good. And then once we've got them harvested, we can plant grass in them because that's what I want. I want more grassland. So, and I think we can afford both. And they're both sandy loam, which is good. So if we buy the first one, and we are a few £100 short of the second one. Let's get back to the farm. Turn flight mode off, and we're going to disconnect, and we're going to head over to field 11 and have a look at that. And hopefully by then the worker will have finished that second fertilizing, or that first fertilizing contract of the day, and we'll have the cash to buy the other field. At the moment we have to go all the way around, which is a little bit annoying. We could take some hedge out along there and run along. We could run a track along the edge of the field. Let me know what you think of that idea. It would save us a bunch of driving, because at the moment it's quite an indirect route to get around there. Yeah, so 78% complete on that contract, which is cool. So yeah, what I was thinking, and I'll show you when we get up the top, because I think it works. Maybe, particularly if we turn them into grass fields. Obviously, we need to get the agronomist in to scan this field. Let's do that as well. So we're going to purchase these soil maps. That's another 3,000. But actually, this field is good enough. It's well fertilized. pH is okay. So we don't actually need to do anything on this field, which is what I was planning to do today. So yeah, what I was thinking is we could come through either here, which would bring us out kind of on the edge of the field, or actually neither of those particularly works well. Until we turn this into grassland. So maybe we'll leave that job till next year. And then we've got this oat field, but we need to raise probably about 4,000, 8,000 pounds. And we're currently doing a contract on field 49, which is 4,000. We've got a lot of fertilizing contracts left. Field 13 is next to us, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to take that contract, and actually we'll get the kit delivered to field 13, because we only have one worker going at the moment, and we can have two, mainly because we only have one tractor with a fertilizer spreader. So if we use the contracting kit from another one, we can get more jobs on the go. How do we get into field 13? I guess it's up top here. And actually that backs onto the yard I was just talking about. So, and again, this one is owned by Just Dad Adam, so another YouTube channel member. So yeah, there's the entrance. Let's put down the store deliveries point, and we will borrow items. And the contract on field 49 is done, which is cool. Because we're going to need to buy fertilizer as well. So if we buy a couple of bags of fertilizer, there we go. Hopefully the second field is in as good a condition as the first field when we get around to having bought it, and we won't have to do any work on that either. So I'm going to drop the work where I'm using courseplay for these. I drop the working width down, the idea being that that reduces the over usage, and that's going to be annoying. I thought these held more. Oh well, I think my one must have an extension on it. So one headland, generate me a course. There we go. First waypoint. Off you go. And then if we jump in here, clear that course off. And where are we headed to next? View probably up field 78, field 79. Let's just have a quick look at this yard. Haven't put the animal pens back in. That looks like it's a pig farm. So I'm going to get the tractor over to the next job and I'll be back. Because I need to raise a bunch of cash, because I'm spending money to do these contracts, I decided to do a couple of them myself. So I have a worker running in the New Holland, and I'm running the little Zetor, which does a brilliant job on this first spreader. I'm not saving any money because the workers' wages have to be paid anyway, but it means I get to play the game instead of watching workers do the game for me. And it's a little bit quicker because I am running the spreader at full width and I'm a bit quicker turning around. So yeah, hopefully I can get through a few of these contracts a bit quicker. I have actually a decent amount stocked up, which we will claim in a moment. Slightly too far. There we go. I'm not using GPS, obviously. So we can't claim 13, but we can claim that one, and we can claim that one. So we're back up to £21,000. So I'm spending a reasonable amount on fertilizer to get these jobs done, but to making a reasonable amount of cash. I'm in field 78, and the worker is in field 133, so that's another £10,000, which would give us enough to buy the field, but it was probably wise to do a couple more to have enough to cover any of our costs. So speeding up time a bit because we don't really have a lot else to do today, assuming that the field of oats we're going to buy is in good shape. Yeah, and we'll hopefully then be able to mill ourselves some grain mix in the future. We'll need to pick up some barley harvesting contracts, but yeah. And the plan wasn't to grow any of our own grains, but we're at the point where we can buy more land, so I think it's a sensible idea. Then as soon as they're harvested, I will be planting them with grass, because grass is what we need. So we can claim that one now. So I'm going to get a few more done, and I will be back when we have some more cash. So we are just finishing up the last contract of fertilizing contracts. I am very low on fuel. I'm hoping that we will make it back to the farm. And then we're going to buy the extra field, get that scanned, and probably skip ahead to May and see what's going on in May at that point. So we have, because there aren't any interesting contracts left. Yep, that's done us pretty good. That's what, 15, a lot of thousands, nearly 20 grand, I think. So I'm going to get back to the farm, it's up that way, and we'll go buy our next field. So the fuel warning light has come on. We can see the farm. Are we going to make it? I think we will. If not, we'll just push it with the Fiat. It'll be fine. I'm having issues with OBS at the moment. I don't know any of you others that use OBS. I find that sometimes it just won't start recording for me, which is really annoying. Hoping it's an issue with this laptop, because this is the last video I will be recording on here. In theory, the laptop is on its way back from PC Specialist. It is less than an hour away from being back in my hands, which will be really nice. And this old Dell has done a brilliant job over the last 2 months, but when you know you've got a laptop with a what was, not anymore, the best AMD processor available for laptops that you can get in it, and a 3070, it's really frustrating that you can't use it. So yeah, it's on its way back. I'm hoping that means that the second charger I brought will work, because I had originally assumed it was a charger issue, which means I'll have 2 chargers, which will be really cool, because I tend to move between my desk and sitting with the family downstairs, and hopefully I can have 1 charger in each spot. which will be quite cool. So we can now afford to buy our second field and get it scanned. Obviously, if you're wondering why, that nitrogen is not good. Lucky we've got a tractor with a first spreader on the back. If you're wondering why I am buying just going to check where the entrance is. If I'm wondering why I'm buying the soil maps, we are playing in the early 90s and we didn't have GPS then. So, yeah, there's the entrance. So, I haven't done it yet. I said I would do it for this video. The way this series is going to work is as the years progress, we are going to progress through the years of technology that is available. At the moment, we're using 80s and 90s kit. So, no GPS, no RTK soil scanning, all that kind of thing is not an option. Let's go grab the Z-Tool. More issues with OBS, but we're going to get another bag of fert delivered to the yard because I'm not sure this is what we've got is enough. I don't have to make another trip back if we run out. So yes, I use store deliveries when I'm doing contracts and get stuff delivered to the job, but not when we're doing work on our own farm. We can, you know, it's because potentially you're way over the other side of the map and that would just make it too painful. So yeah, I'll get round to the field and I will see you there. Yeah, definitely think we're going to need to open up a new entrance to these two fields. We could actually combine them into one once we've got the crop off and turn it into one big grass field. That would probably be a very sensible idea. How much nitrogen do oats need? So it's all the same soil type, so we can apply the same amount across the whole thing. If we go nitrogen, it's basically on 0, and oats need 100, so plus 100. So turn off automatic, and then plus 100. This is going to get through a lot of fertilizer. Actually, we're over applying slightly there. Let's just knock that down a bit. So, again, if you're new to the series, I'm using manual application rates for the same reason that I brought the soil maps. We're playing in a time when you don't have GPS-controlled fertilizer spreaders. That does look nice, doesn't it? Let's grab. I know most YouTubers don't show this kind of thing, but this is Pro Shot, and this is how we get our thumbnails. So that will have been the thumbnail that you saw when you clicked on the video. It's really nice to be getting to use the Z-Tool to do things. Z-Tool, an endless discussion on Discord as to which it is. But this is really not going to be too long a job. And then I think we'll get the cows fed and call it a day. We'll have a look at the tractors that I've added. I think I need to add in the lease to own mod. Just narrow down the working width a bit. So that we're not laying out a big cost. I'll show you the options that I've added so far. I am open to more suggestions for tractors to look at purchasing on here, or leasing, lease to own. And the order from PC Specialist is now 23 stops away. No, it's 20 stops away. DPD do a lot of deliveries around here. They are at the end of my street, apparently. But they have 20 deliveries between me and where they are now. which seems a lot because it's not a very big street. I really like this map. I saw that Cavalier's other map has updated, and he's added in the new version of Relight and made the pastures so they're compatible with grazing. I think if you fill them, you'll struggle with grazing because the pastures aren't huge. But certainly an interesting challenge. You know, I think they hold 1,000 cows. That's going to be a lot of food with Maize Plus. You're looking at 4 mature Holsteins. 5 million litres a day. Yeah, I think. So each cow uses 1,000 litres, so 10 cows is 50,000. 100 cows is 500,000. So yeah, 1,000 cows is 5 million litres of food a day. Or a month, sorry. So you're only looking at producing 60 million litres of forage a year. But for that, you would get 2 million litres of milk a month as well. So you could probably buy in food. And yeah, it's an interesting challenge. And in the US, you probably have mega dairies like that. You'd need to be farming a lot of land to feed them. Right, didn't mean to open that up. I need to feed the cows, but I've shown that so many times. I'm going to do that off camera, and we'll be back. Probably be doing it in the next video. So tractors that I have added in that I'm considering. We have the Deutz AgroStart. So I think I use this a lot in FS19. I think it's the same mod. We can have a front 3-point, which is important, and we can have 100 horsepower. That's not so great. That's one option. It's only 24,000. We have, I like this as a yard tractor potentially, because it comes with a front loader. We've got Model Aisha's Fiat 1300 DT. We could go for that. That's 180 horsepower and does have a front 3-point and is £27,000. That's actually a really good option. It's a really good option. That's in the contract setup, so yeah, definitely that is an option. And then we've got the 2 Ursus tractors, 155 horsepower. We can get a front link. Can we go bigger on the engine? Oh, we can't. So yeah, so there's that option. That's 60 grand. That's a bit more, but it looks quite nice and it's a bit different. So let me know what you think, folks. I think it's between the Fiat and the Ursus, because I think the Deutz at the moment is too small for what we need. So yeah, please let me know what you think we should go for. Hopefully I won't have recorded the next video before this one comes out. It's entirely possible that I have, but I might hold off on making a decision, because I think next time we're going to be getting into the grass work. So we'll be doing some indirect grazing from our field here, and we'll be silaging this, I think, and hopefully getting into some grass working contracts. So if you enjoyed the video, click the like button. If you have any comments, questions or suggestions, put them below. If you're new to the channel and you've made it this far, think about subscribing. That really helps. And I'll see you next time on Maypole Farm.